Hey guys, it's Michael Farron from All About Worship. Recently I got to sit down with my good friend Phil Joel and have this amazing discussion about why he and his band Zealand have decided, even though they're signed to a major label deal, not to utilize any kind of social media. So I just was intrigued and we sat down to just kind of ask some questions and figure out what's going on behind a pretty major decision to not step into the world of social media. It's an amazing conversation. Phil has some amazing insight into why they've made this decision, so hope you enjoy it. My name is Michael Farron. This is Phil Joel. He's amazing. And we are having coffee this morning. And when I'm not checking my social media, now that I'm not going to for the next few minutes, we're actually going to talk about social media because you're embarking on this crazy experiment. Y'all called it an experiment,
It is.
right?
It is an experiment. That's a good term to use. Yeah.
The social media experiment.
Or lack of.
Before the second cup of coffee, I actually, in my head, I thought, this is like, we could just call this like social media off the grid. You know, I've been watching these like outdoorsy shows where these guys just go off the grid. Uh-huh. You basically have went off the grid.
I have.
You're off the grid with social media.
I'm off the grid. I'm off something.
So why don't we enjoy a second cup of coffee here, and you tell me why you have chosen to embark on this experiment of not being anti-social media, but choosing to walk a bit of a different path with all of this.
Yeah, not engaging. It kind of started. It started a while ago, but 4 years ago, I went out on Winter Jam, and I was asked to go be a part of Winter Jam, which is a big tour, and 600,000 people you're in front of over the course of 3 months. And someone at that time said to me, "Hey, you need to be on Facebook to make sure that you maximize this opportunity." And I hadn't been on Facebook to that point. And it was a conscious choice, something in me just felt like, no, I don't want to do this. I don't need to. But I was sort of told somehow that, I needed to. So I did. I opened up the Facebook account and started doing the deal, and taking the photos and sending them out. And people started, following, friending, whatever we call it. And we got that ball rolling, Wow, okay. And about 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, right, my family basically had to have an intervention. No joke. And they sat me down and they're like, "Dad, we don't like you on social media." And at that point I was like, I don't like me either. I know, because you're constantly, checking stuff and, are they liking this? Is people paying attention? Because I've been out of the Newsboys for a while now, and I wonder if anyone remembers who I am. And, I wonder if it just woke up something in me that I didn't like,
Yeah.
And I realized, no, this is not a healthy thing for me. I need to back away. And so I did, and began to breathe deep again.
It brings up some interesting things. I think the more common one, people's identity gets so consumed in their life and their identity of their perception on social media. That's their whole thing.
Makes me think of Lord of the Rings, Schmeagol. Schmeagol, right? Schmeagol at the start of the whole thing, he's just this happy little hobbit, just fishing, right? He's a happy little hobbit, and then he finds the ring, and he slowly just
That's a pretty great analogy.
becomes this,
Pretty.
becomes this.
He's going there.
Yes, my friend. Yeah, and he becomes an absolute classic picture of isolation, and he's twisted. He's twisted in the end, And I think so much of this stuff it comes in gradually. We're a generation. We have the contrast. We know what it was like before this stuff came in, and we know where we are now. So I think we have a responsibility to actually sort of wave a little bit of an orange flag and say, hey, let's slow down a little bit on some of these things that are coming down the line, that we're being told we have to engage in. Let's just slow down. No, we don't have to take it. We don't have to pick that up and become, because be careful. You can become this. Again, like you're saying, I'm not anti-media. Media is, it's my job.
That's your platform.
It's my job. I make music. We're a part of, yeah. But
I think it's a great way to put it. Somebody's got to wave an orange flag, a caution flag, and your family and this platform God's given y'all have chosen to do that, to be a bit of graceful flag wavers going, hey, let's guard this.
Yeah. I'm a reluctant flag waver. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to go, hey, I'm not grumpy.
Anybody
about
who
it.
knows you knows that that's not you or
Right.
or your sweet family. That's not who y'all are.
Yeah.
And yet at the same time, this is a pretty brave, bold choice to be the guy waving a flag going, hey, I really see some danger here that we need to be guarded against.
There is life outside of social media. We can thrive, man. We can live, and have real relationships and real communication outside of it. That's what I'm knowing and experiencing, and I want to continue to keep waving that flag, I guess,
Well, thanks for being a grace-filled flag waver, and you really are. And you said this, and this is a huge statement. You said it takes more than it gives.
Yeah.
So that's what you encountered in those early days of when you first got Facebook up and running. And if you go back and you really think about it, the fruit of it wasn't near what it cost you. And
Yeah.
I wish you'd have filmed the intervention by your family. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, well, it stole time. It stole time from my family. It stole time from my wife. Stole time, and that's one of the other things. We've only been given a certain amount of time. We waste our time. We waste our life. Right? That's a big deal, man.
Let me specifically ask this question. How do you specifically see this affecting a youth culture?
Yeah, I think we're all seeing the youth culture affected by this. It's their new normal, but they don't realize it's a new normal. It's just normal to them to be living virtually, a reality that's not real. They may have 100 friends, but why are they becoming more?
They have none.
And have none really. Why are our depression rates going through the roof? Why are people on more antidepressants than ever? Why are there more ADD drugs being pumped into our kids than ever? Why are we more depressed? It's just, it's fascinating, but it's not that complicated. It's kind of math, We're feeding on this and it's paying out in certain ways. And now we're looking for pills to take care of it. But we need to back away. And again, someone needs to wave this orange flag and say, hey, I think some of the things that you're consuming are causing issues in your heart and in your head. So let's unravel those things a little bit. There's so much more. There's so much more that we can lead our kids into that is healthy and strong and give them a zeal for real life.
I would say, obvious to anyone, that when you came here, it looks vastly different now than when you first arrived with Newsboys and chasing something that was just in your heart to chase and what God had put out in front of you. I mean, it looks totally different now in a lot of ways. The parameters, what's feeding what.
It does. It is different.
How's it different?
Well, I came to town with Newsboys, and obviously Christian music had messed with my heart. The Lord had used it at a certain point, and it inflamed my heart, and it soundtracked my faith, and still does. Music is a wonderful thing, and at a certain point, I felt the Lord saying, "Hey, I want you to serve with this. As you've been served by this, I want you to serve." It's an easy trap to fall into.
Wow.
To turn from the call of Jesus, which is, hey, we're meant to serve one another, to having it flip around and go, man, what can I get from all these people who are following me? And referring back to my social media experiment, 4 years ago, I felt that gravity on my heart, continually checking to see if more people are following me, more people are liking me, more people are in to me.
Dare we say the narcissism word
It
here?
pulled the narcissist out of me, and it's all in us. We have those seeds in us, right? But this just put the water on it. Ooh, watering can, woo! And here I am, narcissist
Social media
man.
can be described as miracle grow for narcissism in every life. In this experiment, this grand experiment, what has it been like trying to launch a band when people have said it's going to be impossible to launch a band or a platform without social media?
Well, I do like the fact that you see this as an experiment, because it is a bit of a wacky experiment. But that's life, right? That's life in the Lord. This is an adventure. But the deal is we're thriving as a band. We're alive. Hey, I've still got a pulse. I'm still alive. My wife still thinks I'm cool. My kids are growing up beautifully, and all without social media. It's so far so good, So we continue to walk this thing with the Lord, and
We will call it an experiment, but it is more than that.
Yeah,
It really is more than that. And I think it's an incredible, beautiful challenge for a lot of people. And I like your call to extremism in it because it's grace-filled extremism. I can do that.
Grace-filled extremism. I like that. I want to take that phrase. I like it. Well, hey, thanks for
Hey, the coffee
chatting.
was great.
Yeah, I know we need some more. We
We'll
could
go
talk
get-
about this stuff forever, but
Cup 3.
cup 3. Cup 3's off air.